Hello, my ravens. So, I was gonna wait till tomorrow to make this video, but I realized that I've technically made it to the end of 2019. And yes, it's not the complete end, but I can still reflect on the last, 364 days of the year. And I don't need to wait till tomorrow to do this. So this is probably going to be a long video because I'm trying to do one take. I'm hopefully not going to cry, and I'm hopefully just gonna, I even wrote out a list of things to talk about, and I rarely ever do that. So this is gonna be very, just whatever comes out, comes out. So, 2019, did I say 2018? God damn. 2019 has been a very interesting year. It's a year in which my stream has grown so much, and I've had so much happiness and peace in my life, but it's also been a very challenging year for me, and a year in which I've grown a lot. And I wanted to start off this video by talking about the things that I've learned. And I'm not going to go into detail about the events that I'm referring to because that's not the point of the video. The point of the video is to mention my takeaways, and hopefully if anyone is watching this video that can relate to the takeaways, it helps you in some way. One of the things that I learned this year is to be kind to myself. And we're always taught about forgiveness and how important it is to forgive other people and how important it is to have the ability to forgive. But I don't think people talk enough about the ability and the importance of being able to forgive yourself. There are times where you will be disappointed in your choices, in your actions, and you will be the one living with the consequences and the repercussions. And you need to be able to forgive yourself and move forward from those mistakes that you have chosen to make. And it's so hard. It's so hard, especially for a person like me who tries so hard to always be in control and always think about all the different outcomes and make calculated decisions and make informed decisions. And for someone like me to, I'm a human being, to still make mistakes after taking all those precautions, it weighs on you. It really weighs on you. So one thing I've learned this year is how to forgive myself and how to use an experience for which I have to forgive myself as an opportunity for growth and betterment. It's one thing to forgive yourself and not take anything away from that experience and just forgive yourself and move on from that. It's different to forgive yourself, analyze the situation, and be like, how do I keep this from happening again? How do I keep myself from making this mistake again? How do I keep myself from becoming so helpless again? And I think that was something important that I learned to do as well. Not just forgive myself, but also, be accountable for my actions, be responsible for them, own up to it, and then figure out, okay, now what do I do? How do I fix this? How do I make this better? How do I keep this from happening again? What is wrong with me? What led me to do that? Another thing I learned this year is to be as in control of your decisions as possible. And I talked about this a little on my Discord as well. Sometimes we do things like, sometimes we do A, okay? And the reaction or the result is B. We didn't do A so that we could have B. We did A because of Z. Like, sometimes our actions are driven by other deep-seated motives, and the we're not always conscious of why we're doing things. And one thing I've learned to do this year is be conscious of why you're making the decisions that you're making. Are you going to a party because you want to go to a party and you just want to have a good time? Or are you going to a party because you miss your partner that you once had, your ex, and you will see them there and you're trying to maybe have a second go at them? You know what I mean? Because then if you're conscious of that, then you will be like, oh, I'm going to a party because I want to try to, have a second chance with my partner that I used to have. Do I really want to do that? Is that healthy? Is it a good idea for me to go? Then you can work with that information and hopefully make the best informed decision for yourself as possible, instead of acknowledging that, or sort of suppressing this red flag that might be going off in you that's like, who you kidding? You're not just gonna have a good time. Okay, we all know why you're trying to go to that party. It's good to be conscious of, why am I doing what I'm doing? Why am I choosing to do what I'm doing? That way, if something happens that you are not okay with, at least hopefully you are ready for it, because there are certain things you can't be ready for. I'm not saying you'll be ready for everything, but there are certain steps we can take to ensure that generally we're ready for it. Like, for example, again, going to that party scenario, if we're like, okay, if I go to this party, I know I'm going so I can get a second go at my partner. What's going to happen if they're with someone else? How will I deal with that? What happens if I talk to them and they don't want to talk to me? That way you at least kind of have an idea. Next thing you know, you go, you're disappointed, you're hurt because you didn't even think about the possibility that they could be with someone else. They could not want to talk to you or see you anymore. They could completely ignore you. And then you're stuck with this hurt and this pain. And sometimes it softens the blow a little bit, at least if you're going into it saying, I'm choosing to make this decision. I'm ready for the hurt. And this is what I'm doing. So that's something that I've learned, to be in control as much as you can of these decisions that you're making. Know why you're making these decisions. And when you make decisions, try to handle, one thing I've learned is to try to handle the repercussions with grace. And once you're honest, deal with the repercussions with grace. Just try to stay as rational as possible. Take a step back from the scenario if you need to. Pause if you need to read a text and reread it before responding. Pause. Compose yourself. Try to uphold that gracefulness and move forward with that, because it's very easy to act out in emotions and act out when you're sad and act out when you're angry and just go in on someone. That doesn't help anyone, right? We all know that doesn't help anyone. But when you take a step back and you compose yourself and you deal with situations with grace, you hope that, and when I say you, I'm talking about like all of us. I'm not just talking about people. I'm talking about all of us, because this is my personal experiences that I'm talking about. When I try to deal with situations with grace, I hope that I just feel better when I can look back at a situation and be like, you know what? I dealt with it the best way that I possibly could. Like, I actually don't think that I could have dealt with it in a better way possible. But I know when you're rash and you're hasty and you just are reckless with your emotions, it's very easy to feel like this could have gone so much better, Another thing I learned is that it's okay not to be healed. And I told myself I wasn't going to cry. It's okay not to be okay. And I always say this, but we will heal at our own time and at our own pace. Only we know what is truly good for us, and only we know what our hearts can handle, what our body can handle, what our mind can handle. And it's no one's business. Our healing journey is no one's business. It really isn't. No one has the right to rush you or to say that you're wrong for feeling the way that you feel. You take the time that you need. And people that love you, care for you, respect you, want you to be okay, truly, they will be okay with that. And I know that there are people that love us and they don't want to see us hurt, and that's what hurts them. And then they act out and they're not very empathetic. That's just their way, but it's not the right way in my opinion. And last but not least, I might not be able to fathom it, and I might not be able to accept it just yet, but there is somebody out there for me. There is somebody capable of loving me the way that I want to be loved. And there is someone out there for me who could possibly help me be able to love as passionately as I know I'm capable of again. And it seems completely unreal to think that way, because there is a big part of me that's kind of dead and numb and very disconnected and closed off. And it's like in games, you know, when you're like, I need a medic, I need to revive, and then you press E and then you revive the person. I kind of like, I'm trying to revive myself. I'm trying to revive that side of me by myself, but I don't think it's I think it's one of those things that need to be revived by somebody. And I've learned to be okay with it just being dead and just being there. But it would be nice for someone to revive it. And again, it's a two-way street. I don't want someone to just revive it and that's that. I want someone to revive it, and they will only be able to revive it if I let them. And I will only let them if I truly feel some type of way about them. So we'll see. And I know thought that was the last point, but the last point in lessons that I've learned is when you make exceptions for people and you let people in, you need to know what that means to you. And I know for me, what I've learned is 99% of the time where I am right now in my life, I'm not capable of making exceptions for people. It's very difficult for me to deal with all my walls up and with all the emotional issues that I have. It's very difficult for me to maintain exceptions with people. I generally feel safer and more comfortable when people are close to me, but still at an arm's length. And when I make exceptions, it messes things up. So something I've learned this year is I'm not ready for exceptions. And that's okay. And that is okay. If I am ready for exceptions to my major rules that I have in my life, it's definitely a rare occasion. Still okay. You do whatever is right for you. You do whatever there's no right way of handling, yourself in terms of that. There's only what works for you and what doesn't work for you. And I've realized what works for me. And knowing this about myself, God willing, if I make it to 2020, I can use this information to make better decisions and have a better year, inshallah. And I want to end off the video with a few accomplishments from this year. I know I'm missing so many because this has been a great year in terms of accomplishments. I'm very proud of myself. I'm very grateful and fortunate to have had the opportunities that I have had. This was the first year where I put myself first. I have like never done that in my life for such a long period of time. And I put myself first for a majority of this year. And it was difficult. It was very difficult managing all the other roles that I play in my life and all the other things that I want to accomplish in my life. But I'm proud of myself for doing it. For a person like me who generally always puts other people first, I think other people who are like that will be able to relate. It's quite hard. It's quite hard to think about yourself first. And it was almost like a liberating experience to do that. And a difficult one in the sense because you're so used to being so giving, and then you make that shift and people are like, ugh, you know? 1 second. Well, that was a fail. I was pausing the video because a call was coming and I was trying to take the call, and then it just ended the video. It's still one take, okay? I didn't like go and rehearse anything. I'm doing this fresh. Put myself first. I came out with highlight videos. I've been trying to do that for so long, and I finally was able to do that. Now I generally do it every Sunday, a video every Sunday. I'm on my 7th one, I believe, or 8th one, which is pretty exciting. I got 3 new emotes released. We have the love one, we have the cry emote, we have the laugh emote, which is really exciting. My community has grown so much more. I've gotten closer to you all. I've met some of you through Twitchcon. I had this life-changing experience in San Diego. I was blessed to be able to go to San Diego and have this life-changing experience. It was a time in my life where I was really able to just be like, no, I'm done being unhappy. I'm done being unhappy. Deep down inside, I'll always be like a little sad, but unhappy as in my day-to-day. Since San Diego, my day-to-day has been so much better. As in, yes, sometimes it's hard to get out of bed, but I have that drive to move forward. I'm like, boom, let's do that. Let's do that logo. Let's do that emote. Let's do that. I want to do this, this, and this, and this, and this. My scrumptious emote, that's going to be released really soon. Unfortunately, you guys won't be able to use it on my Twitch because I'm not a partner. I don't have 3 emote slots, but it will be available on Discord, which will be very exciting. And God willing, one day, if I'm meant to make partner, it's going to be a monumental moment to be like, holy cow, these emotes I made X amount of months or years ago, or whatever, and now it's finally being released on my Twitch. Merchandise, I've been working on trying to get merchandise going for my store, which I have the name, but it's secret, which is what? Like, it's always been a dream, but this is really happening. I'm really putting the work in to do it. My sub feathers, I've been trying to do them for so long, and I finally put the idea down and I actually did it. I finally was able to get behind a gold color that I really, really, really like. I've reached over 1.5 years of streaming. I made my first resin project, which was the solo sword named by Slay. I implemented community nights, and we have had some amazing memories. And I've gotten such wonderful feedback from you all saying that, you know, I've had a bad day and that really made my day. Or I was feeling this type of way and your streams helped me do X, Y, and Z. And really, like, it gets me emotional thinking about it, but the fact that I'm not gonna cry. Sorry. You guys say that I'm healing you and helping you, but you guys don't realize how much you've healed me and how much I've healed during this year because of all of you. God willing, everything goes well. I signed my offer letter today for my new job. So I will be starting a new job in January, come the new year. I left situations in my life that weren't making me happy, and I was willing to leave them. And that's a big step for me. I was willing to take my happiness into my own hands and make the changes that I needed to do that, which is huge for a person like me. I don't have the strength to do that, and I proved to myself that I am strong enough to do that, and I do deserve to look out for myself. I deserve to look out for myself. I should look out for myself and my happiness. Yeah. I learned to use DaVinci Resolve. Some of you have helped me out. I've had amazing, wonderful core people in my community that have helped me out. Stop, Drop, and Love has become a huge thing. I think I'm on like video 21 or 22. Speaking of which, I need to do a couple Stop, Drop, and Love soon to make up for all the time that I've missed. I've already have the people in mind. I just haven't had the time to do the video, and I don't want to rush it. It's a very important thing to me. God, like there's so much, guys. There's so much that has happened this year that has been so wonderful, and I just want to say thank you to all my ravens who have made this year for me so healing and so wonderful and so just comforting, and you all have helped me grow and touched me in some way. And for all the work that you all put in, for all the tweets that you share, the retweets, the YouTube comments, the YouTube views that you do, the inside jokes that we have, the desire to help me get my channel to grow, the VODs that you watch, the VODs that you clip, the clips that you make, the feedback that you give me about the highlight reels, the participation that you do in any part of my channel, whether it's my Discord, it's my Twitter, it's my Instagram, it's my YouTube, it's my life, it's checking up on me, making sure I'm okay, advising me when I need it, supporting me, and just caring for me, being kind to me, being kind to each other. It warms my heart when I see you all talk to each other and get along with each other and uplift each other and motivate each other, inspire each other, encourage each other. It's truly beautiful to see. And, you know, a lot of people have mentioned that this community is kind of like, you know, all they have, and it's the only place that they truly feel safe and they feel welcomed. And that's a huge deal. It's not just something that I've created. It's also the people that are in this community, all my ravens. That's why I have a zero tolerance policy, or zero tolerance policy, because I call it out right away whenever I see anyone being disrespectful to each other, because I don't want that kind of environment. I want you all to feel safe. I want you all to feel good when you enter in the community, in the Discord, whatever it is. I want us all to learn how to deal with each other with kindness, and if there's conflict, resolve the conflict with kindness and maturity and communication, and still being respectful and polite. I could go on, but thank you so much for making this year so wonderful for me, and so action-packed, and such a great package of growth and development for the stream and for myself. And it wouldn't have been the same without you all. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for making 2019 so amazing. You all truly are very special to me, and thank you for choosing to be my friend. Thank you for choosing to be a raven. Thank you for choosing to be part of my community. And God willing, I will see you all soon for a New Year's stream. I'll probably do a Schwartz stream for an hour or so, or an hour and a half or so, before we all get together as a family. And take care. Stay scrumptious. Have a beautiful, safe New Year's. Please be safe. I want you all to be happy and healthy. And God willing, I will see you soon. Okay? Take care, and Raven out. See you in 2020, God willing.